So today is episode 4 of the 1.5 Solana to $100,000 using Meteora DLMM pools for the liquidity pools and a little bit of Bullx meme coin trading. And today we have managed to get almost 21 Solana. So from last video, I think we got to around 18. I just looked at the thumbnail to look and that's what it seems like. And we were on about 3,200. We're almost at the 21 Sol and $4,000 mark, which is huge. So we got to do a little bit of a different kind of trading this video than we have done the other videos where we were just kind of farming that one pool just very consistently. Today we had some larger pools on some slightly lower risk coins such as this one, although I do say the risk is high. And we also had this SCF coin, which was an absolute cooker, and we've just been ranging in it for a few days. And so it's kind of our first long-term or medium-term meme coin play, and we got to make a little bit of profit on that. So to know about a different kind of strategy and how you can try and get in one of these ranging coins, make sure to watch the whole video. Okay, so this is our first trade. I did do a few more trades in that butt pool. We're on about 18 Solana, or actually 19 Solana I should say, but I've been pushed out of that a bit as there is a lot of big whales in that now. So now we are just doing some more smaller positions on some meme coins just as I'm a bit bored and I'm in this based coin. So I actually had some filters set up on deck screen and I will share how I do this at a later date, as I think it's quite a cool method to find some pools with high volume and there's a lot of transactions. And the thing is, in this pool of only 2.8k, there's also a lot of transactions going through, and it's why I put some money in. So I've just gone in and we've made barely anything. We just pushed out the pool. This is only 0.5 Solana and I set a very tight range. What I like to do is have the Meteora pool open in one tab and actually have another tab with the raging pool, which has more volume, so I can track it. And I can see that I set up this really tight range just up here, and I probably should get out right now with, this is about 10% profit. So that I could have got in with 3 Solana here and made about 0.3 Solana. I only put a tiny bit in, so it wasn't really worth it. But what I would do now normally is I will claim my fees. Solana is a bit slow still, the network, so it's taking a while to claim, but it has gone through. I'll go straight onto Bullx. Then I will wait till it actually registers. I have the position, so it actually knows the pair I have. Go onto Bullx, and what I like to do, and what I'm doing with this particular pair, as I'm not too bullish, I will insta sell my 100% of fees for that amount, which is small, but when you think about it, the amount I put in is good enough. So what I want to do is I do want to attempt to make a longer term pool, hopefully something we can do overnight with a different kind of curve, because we haven't done that yet and we have a bit more Solana worked up. So I'm looking at this smoking chicken fish chart, and if you haven't seen, this is a bit of a meme on Twitter and they seem to have quite strong meme potential. It's a Reddit meme. They have really strong branding. They had a really big spaces yesterday on Twitter and they have some big accounts tweeting about them. And what I'm thinking is hopefully this token is at a decent market cap now. Hopefully it will range for a bit longer. So I was in this pool earlier from around this point right here all the way to here. That's quite a lot of hours, but even during that, it did not actually print a lot, which it wasn't the best. And this is the pool and it's getting a few transactions through it now, but before it's not getting a ton, not as many as I would like to see anyway. So it's probably best to make a new pool. What I'm thinking is I will just enter in, we'll just see how it does. Maybe we'll take a little loss, or maybe it will do what I want and actually print maybe 20% overnight. So you can see there's 12,000 in the pool, 1,400 in fees, so it's not that massive. And we can see that there does seem to be maybe one person or maybe a few people that did deposit some large amounts, maybe 30 Solana each. So what I'm thinking is I will set a range, which is, I mean, it would be best from this blue line to here. Maybe it ranges for a bit. Because I want to keep the fees, as I do think this token could go higher. What I'm going to do is set it to this range with around maybe 5 Solana, and we might actually up it a bit. So I've gone into Meteora, we're going to add some liquidity, and what we're actually going to do first is we're going to add 2 Solana, and we're going to drag it actually a bit higher, and we're going to see what number we want, and we want 1392, roughly, about there. And then what we want to do is we want to set it to the lowest, about 0. I think that's 89. I mean, the safer would be to go lower, but I'm just going to keep it around that 989 level. So we're actually going to lower this. We're going to put 8, 9 in here. Hopefully this is still in range. It is. Lower is the safer. So that looks like it would be. It's quite a wide range. It's not super narrow. Hopefully it drops and shoots back up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the 2 Solana, and we're just going to add that. And we can see there's actually no liquidity right down there. Add that. So wait for that to go through. I'll just pause it as Meteor is being a bit slow. And now the next thing to do is what I'm actually going to do is add another 2 Solana, but what I'm going to do is make it a curve, actually a bid ask. So when the price gets lower, more of my Solana is in the pool. So as you can see before, it says there is 0.047, instead there'll be 0.9, and down here there'll still be a bit less. So I will add that as well. Now we have 4 Solana in it. And if I do add any more, I will probably use this curve as well. So I think I'm going to attempt to set up some kind of falling knife on this coin called Oreo. It's new and they do have this 5% fall with a high dynamic fee. That's what we're looking at for this. I'm just trying to get in and out very quickly. I'm going to try and set up a curve. Might not work out. If it doesn't work out, I'll probably remove this from the video. So it is about 8 hours later, and as we can see, I entered around here and it just pumped straight out of my range. This is because of the spaces. I was hoping it would drop down, do a bit of ranging, then pump out, but it seems that I just had my range wrong. Maybe I should have just done that range and I'd have caught a bit, but couldn't have really predicted that too much. So if we look at my position, we can see I made 0.08 SOL and 632 SCF, which is about, let me do the maths, it's 0.05 times 600. So about $30, a bit over. So I will claim that, and that means yesterday maybe I made around, I'll have to see, I'll just claim it, see what kind of fees we got. Now you can imagine if that actually did stay in my range for any time at all, I'd have made a lot more. So, but I do think it might be worth setting a new position on this, and we might actually be able to do this today as well. Maybe something like this range is what I'm planning. So what I have done is I did open a new position. As I said, you can see I have 5 Solana. We've made, a tiny bit in fees. It's quite a lot more now that this has pumped though. That's more like $5 than it was like $2. And we've gone quite wide. So we've gone bid ask curve, and I did put my fees in just, why not? And I went for this big blue range. So it's fairly large, about 45 bins. It might be a bit smarter to actually drag it down to about there and just do the full range. And then another thing you can do is set a wide range with most of your Solana, and then with a smaller amount, you could actually set a smaller range in case it never even does that. But a smaller amount just because if it does drop out and go down there, you'll reduce your liquid loss. But yeah, so I'll do, I think 1 SOL or 2 SOL for this kind of range, somewhere over this supporters, and we're just trying to catch all the different lines and actually move this one down a bit. So hopefully that will maximize the fees. Granted, it doesn't just pump out like it just did there though. Okay, so what we are doing is it's our second night and we are opening a new position in the SCF in a new pool. Hopefully the price drops down and goes in this range rather than this upper one. And that's why my fees are a bit lower. And I've got some curves that will hopefully pick up that volume. And then I did also claim my fees through the day, which is a bit more than this. It's about $70 to be honest in the token. And I've put it in this spot curve. And what I'll do is if it reaches around here, I will add a bit of SOL as well, all the fees I've made in Solana, and add that. So this will be a bit taller as well. And hopefully in the morning we will wake up, hopefully positive. Hopefully it goes just through here and up. Because otherwise, we might be waking up with a loss. And I think that might end us for this episode. And we should be on around 21 Solana if this works out. Okay, so it's the morning. This is about 7-8 hours later, and as you can see, we have a little bit of Solana and a bit of the token, but it's not a lot for what we put in. And that's because, to be honest, I wasn't in range a lot. So, and if you look at my positions, since I had the bid ask curve, not a lot of it was really being used of my Solana, which is all mainly down here. So we were out of range most of the night, and I didn't get to make much, but with that said, I still, if I didn't have any positions, I wouldn't have made any of this. And this is still around, almost $40 probably. And, it still adds up to our total balance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close out of this position. And I did have this position open with some tokens which did go through the range, and it did make a little bit as well, but there was not a lot in it, under 1 Solana. So what I'm going to do is claim the fees, probably close these out, and what we might do is might make a new position, because clearly it's not going to be dropping back down here. So that is going to be it for this episode. We started on around 18.8, I want to say, maybe a little bit lower, and we're on about almost 21 Solana, about 20.9 Solana total, as I'm holding a bit of this token. So this was more of a slow grind up. We had a lot of little wins with around 0.2 Solana, 0.1, just grinding up slowly, you know, through the day. No big wins or quick meme coins this time, but you know, we'll catch some in the future. And if I go on to BullX, I did have a few small trades as well. As you can see, that's what my token's worth. I am going to hold them for now though, but if I go to my portfolio, I think you can see some trades here, which maybe I didn't mention all of them. So ignore the red. I think I'm not sure why it's like that, but you know, some of these I didn't mention. They were kind of 1 SOL to 1.2 SOL flips. So I do mention my exact positions in the Telegram when I do enter them. And there's also been some good discussion, you know, just trying to help some people with their curves and getting started, and you know, other people just sharing their positions as well. And already some people are getting really good results.